Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is The Wheel of Time, Season 3. At the end of Season 2, Rand al'Thor killed the Dark One's top lieutenant and was publicly proclaimed the Dragon Reborn. Now Moiraine, the Aes Sedai, is trying to guide these youngsters on the next step to saving the world. Wait, didn't we save the world last season? Nope, this series is 14 books. This story's just getting started. Ashamel, who they killed, was just one of the Forsaken, and now the others have been let loose, including Moghedien, the creepy spider lady. She creates an invisible assassin, a Grey Man, and that night sends it to attack our crew. But the Forsaken aren't all working together. Remember, Lanfear loves the dragon and wants Rand to turn to the dark side, but that means she needs to keep Rand alive, so she and Moiraine have an uneasy alliance for now. So our youngsters all accept they have more saving the world to do, but they all have different tasks, so our group splits up again. The dragon is supposed to go to the Stone of Tyr to claim the legendary magic sword Kalendor, but Rand's like, I got a better idea. The Dragon Reborn is also the Kara Karn, the prophesized hero of the Aiel, the desert people that Rand's birth parents are from. Their leader here, Aviendha, has been bugging Rand to come with them, and finally Rand gives in. Let's go deal with your thing first. Meanwhile, Egwene and Nynaeve, our two Aes Sedai in training, get bad news from the White Tower. They had captured Liandrin, who was a dark friend, what they call a member of the Black Ajah. But there were more bad Aes Sedai than they realized, and it turns into a big magic fight. As they're escaping, they fight Alana of the Green Ajah. Remember, she's the one in a throuple with her two warders. But now, tragically, one is killed, so them being sad is their plotline. Now it's time for Egwene to complete her training and go through the magic vision arch. She sees a future she's been dreading, where Rand has fully gone mad from channeling too much of the male side of the One Power, and it's up to Egwene to put him down. She hopes in real life it won't come to that, so she's going with Rand to protect him from himself. Nynaeve says goodbye to her love, Lan. It's his job to go and protect Moiraine, but Nynaeve still has a magic mental block. She's going to stay in the White Tower to figure that out. Also staying is Elaine Trakand, the daughter heir of Andor, who became good friends with our girls last season. As the legendary hero, it seemed that Rand was destined to romance the princess, but she's more interested in Aviendha, the Aiel girl. Now Elaine gets a visit from her mother, Queen Morghese of Andor. She's pretty mad her daughter was kidnapped last season. She's like, this place is too dangerous, you gotta come home. But she convinces her mom the best way to keep her safe is let her finish her Aes Sedai training so she'll be a powerful sorceress. But she's leaving protection for her daughter, her court Aes Sedai, Elaida, who's a huge rival of the current Emerald seat, Swan Sanche. She almost beat her in the election years ago, and immediately she starts politicking, trying to get the White Tower on her side. The queen also leaves Elaine's brothers, who are going to train to become her warders. They are both super hot, so it's exciting times for all the novices. Going back with the queen is her consort, Lord Gabriel, who Elaine remembers as a good friend and father figure. But there's something weird with him. Every time he walks in a room, everyone forgets who he is for a second, until they, of course, remember. Turns out he is Robin, one of the Forsaken, a charming political type whose specialty is memory stuff. And because Nynaeve and Elaine were kidnapped by Liandrin last season, they're the only ones who are definitely not working with her and are given the task to hunt her down. The trail leads to the pirate city of Tanchico, where Liandrin was born. They hop on a ship where the women sailors use magic to make their boats go faster, and they bring with them Mat and Min, who as degenerates themselves know how to handle themselves in Tanchico. The last of our group, Perrin, wants to go home to check in on the idyllic village of Two Rivers. Turns out they're having some trouble here with the Children of the Light, the White Cloaks, who are kinda good guys, but mostly bad guys. They've come here looking for Perrin. Remember last season he killed that one guy's father after he killed his wolf. So his son Dane, the good White Cloak, has fallen under the influence of the bad White Cloak, the Inquisitor, and captures Matt's family to lure Perrin out. Also here is a random group of adventurers led by Knife Girl Fael. And long story short, she and Perrin immediately fall in love. Now Rand al'Thor makes it to the desert of the Aiel. A couple of them come to greet him because they've heard he's the chosen one, but he won't be accepted until he proves himself by facing the trials in the secret ancient magic city, Ruidian. Inside, Rand has a vision quest where he sees the lives of his ancestors, starting very recently with his biological father. But many generations back, his ancestor was not an Aiel. He was a Tuatha'an, one of the Tinkers, the nomadic people we met in Season 1 that followed the non-violent Way of the Leaf. When some bad guys attacked them, Rand's ancestor picked up a spear and fought back. But the Way of the Leaf is their sacred law. Even though he saved them, he is banished. And so he hides his face in shame and goes into the desert to become the first Aiel. But now Rand goes even further back to the ancient civilization that was facing the magic apocalypse. He was given a super important orb to protect, which necessitated following the Way of the Leaf. And so the Tuatha'an culture originated as Arks fleeing the magic apocalypse. Now Rand goes even further back to before the magic apocalypse started, and here he was hanging out with none other than Lanfear, back when she was a good guy. She's all excited about this new magic experiment she's doing, which she thinks is gonna be good. But of course it went bad and unleashed the Dark One and started the whole war that would lead to the breaking of the world. Meanwhile, Moiraine came in here too to face her own vision quest. She has visions of the infinite possible futures, some where things go good, a lot where things go bad. But one thing at least becomes quite clear: in all the futures where the good guys win, Lanfear kills Moiraine in the desert. But there's some good news, because in here she finds the ancient white orb that made its way here. Turns out it is the female version of the sword Kalendor that lets you channel immense power. So coming to the Aiel desert was a good idea after all. Aviendha came here too, by the way. Turns out she can channel, so she's becoming a wise one, the Aiel version of an Aes Sedai. Egwene learned some stuff here too. 2, she's been having recurring nightmares about when she was captured by the Sanshan. The Aiel Wise Ones are expert dreamwalkers, and they teach Egwene how to control her dreams, and turns out she's a natural. She goes to see what Rand is dreaming, but there's another dreamwalker already here. Yes, it's Lanfear, and she and Rand are totally doing it. Egwene is pretty pissed, but Rand's like, babe, you're overreacting. It's not cheating if it's in a dream. But Egwene fills him in every night while you two are getting it on. She's been actively torturing me in my nightmares. Lanfear had almost convinced Rand that the dark side really wasn't that bad, and she and Rand belonged together, but now Rand realizes she's fully evil, so he breaks up with her, and with Egwene's help, banishes her from their dreams. Meanwhile, Liandrin and the Bad Aes Sedai are searching for a collar like the one the Shanshans used to control their channelers, but a unique one that would work on a man. She's hoping to control the Dragon Reborn. So our crew comes to Tanchico, where Elaine gets into trouble when she's recognized as a princess. But Matt runs into an old friend. It's Tom Merrilin, the gleeman who helped him in season 1. He helps Elaine out of her mess by claiming she's just his assistant, but to prove it, she'll have to sing a song. Luckily, she's an incredible singer and launches into a bawdy song about having boobs, and it turns into a great party. But now Liandrin's found the collar. It's apparently held in the Sea Lord's palace, and our kids are hot on their tail. As they're searching, Tom Merrilin connects with Elaine. Turns out he knew her when she was a kid. Apparently, he's had a wild life. He used to be one of her mom's top advisors. Elaine's like, oh, so were you friends with her consort, Lord Gabriel? But Tom's like, I've never heard that name in my life. So these two figure out he's one of the Forsaken. Now they're attacked by Bad Aes Sedai, who's got the disintegration rod. Elaine manages to grab it and blast her with it. But remember, these relics are poorly understood, and it might be more dangerous than it seems. Elsewhere, Matt and Min are searching, and they find a strange red arch. Min recognizes it. She had a vision of Matt hung from it, but it's too late, and he's warped through. He wakes up in a strange place with a weird-ass, creepy clown-looking guy. Apparently, he has to grant Matt 3 wishes now, so Matt's first wish is that freaky magic stuff would stop happening to him, and the guy says granted, so watch out for that. Now, since Matt blew the horn last season, which unlocked memories of his past lives, but they're all jumbled up in there, which has been causing problems, so for his second wish, he asks him to fix his memories, and he says done. For his third wish, Matt asks to get the hell out of this place, which was apparently the trick. If you don't ask to leave, you're stuck here. But he didn't set any terms, and so this thing warps him out, hanging from a noose. Luckily, Min was prepared for that, and so Matt is saved. But his memory wish didn't work the way he hoped. Right now, they're more jumbled up than ever. Now Liandrin looking for the collar, but she can't find it anywhere. But Nynaeve, who had experience with the Shanshan, knows that when they're not in use, they shrink into a small band. Liandrin catches up to her, but these two were kind of friends, and Nynaeve tries to talk her back from the dark side. But Liandrin's like, yo, I like being evil, and to prove it, she blasts Nynaeve into the ocean. With her magic mental block, she's unable to free herself, but this turns out to be exactly the life-threatening push she needed to blam! Magic unlocked! And remember, Nynaeve is apparently the strongest of them all. So Liandrin has the collar and both bracelets to control it, but now she's found by Moghedien, who's been watching her this whole time and letting her find it for her. But Liandrin makes her a deal. Turns out it takes 2 women to use the collar. It's like, let me be your partner. Moghedien's like, alright, but not partner, more like my assistant. Meanwhile, back in the 2 Rivers, an army of Trollocs is coming through the Waygate, led by none other than our first dark friend, the peddler Padden Fane. So as the 2 Rivers prepares to fight, they look to Perrin Bara, who accidentally became their leader. He leads them in their favorite folk song to get them all hyped up about the lost kingdom of Manetheren. And Loyal the Ogier, a historian, knows that this region of the 2 Rivers was the ancient kingdom of Manetheren, famed for being the strongest warriors in the world. And so it's time for the big battle of the season as the Trollocs attack the 2 Rivers and Perrin leads the defense. Also, the Aes Sedai Alana is here, and she's able to link with some of the untrained women who can channel in town and summon an epic hailstorm. So the battle starts off pretty good, but then things go bad real quick. But now reinforcements arrive. Yes, it's the White Cloaks. Dane remembered he's a good guy after all. But Padden Fane had infiltrated them, and now he opens the gate, lets the Trollocs in, and things are looking bleak. So Perrin, who has always hated fighting, decides that in this situation, it might be time to go ham. And he goes into beast mode, single-handedly taking down this whole army. Though not single-handedly, his new girlfriend, Fael, takes out all the ones he misses. In the end, he gets to Padden Fane and should probably finally just kill this guy. But he's the one commanding the Trollocs, and so Perrin agrees to let him live if he calls the retreat. And so the battle is won, and the 2 Rivers is saved. But the unsung hero is Loyal, who was sent to stop reinforcements from coming through the ways. Blam! Knocked the gate down and fell into the darkness. Also turns out Matt's sisters can channel magic, and they get revenge for their mom by killing this bad Inquisitor dude. And they were able to heal Alana, so she and her remaining warder survive. Also, the Tuatha that Perrin befriended in Season 1 happened to be here. In the chaos of the fight, the one guy had to kill a Trolloc, but his mom saw him, and so now he's banished and is gonna make a new life here in the 2 Rivers. But now, despite having fought together, Dane still wants to arrest Perrin, and true to his word, he turns himself in. Now back to Rand in the desert. They've called a big meeting of the Aiel where he'll proclaim himself the Karakaran. But now that Lanfear is working against Rand, she grabs another random guy and gives him the fake dragon tattoos. So when Rand reveals his real ones, it's anticlimactic. Moraine's ready to face her destiny and fight Lanfear in the desert, but with this new magic orb she's got, oh, they're evenly matched. Her warder Lan comes to help. I haven't mentioned him much, but he was in fact in this season. But in the end, Lanfear's just too strong and stabs Moiraine. Meanwhile, back at the White Tower, Elida pulled a tricky move. She had Swan impeached and is the new Amyrlin seat. Turns out she's not a dark friend, just a regular douchebag. And Swan Sanche makes an epic speech, but in the end is executed. Now Moiraine, across the world, feels that her great love is dead. She finds the strength to keep fighting, pulls that sword right out of her gut. She overpowers Lanfear, who has to run away, and Moiraine has avoided fate. She survives for now. Meanwhile, Rand is having trouble convincing the Aiel that he's their real chosen one, but he wins the debate when he remembers he can do magic. The Aiel pledge to follow him, and Rand al'Thor has taken the next step on his destiny as the Dragon Reborn to save the world. Or, of course, destroy the world. That was the other part of the prophecy, and the more magic Rand channels, the more it might corrupt him. We'll find out where the story goes, if the show is uncancelled, but for now, that's where the Wheel of Time comes to an end. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.